Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. OG friend and fam's back, Antonio. The Upon Further Review podcast, we have been reviewing The Last of Us, and this is the penultimate episode, episode number 8, When We Are in Need. All spoils, of course. Gotta talk about the thing to talk about the thing. At 20 franchise, all stuff. At _the Jones on IG. At Hang with the Joneses on TikTok and Facebook, if you're nasty. All right, just go ahead and talk. Go ahead, Tony.
Hey, man, this episode, man, once again, man, this is just a solid episode. And like the previous episode being Ellie focused, this was kind of an Ellie focused episode as
Definitely.
well. We pick up kind of like where we left off last episode, where Ellie, she had her flashback and she was thinking, and then she basically just, saved Joel by stitching him up with needle and thread. No anesthesia, by the way, just straight raw. And then like you see, like she's checking on it, and you see it progressively. It's like turning purple around that hole. I'm like, oh god,
that Joel was like green.
Yeah, green. She's like, ew, or whatever. So, she's trying to talk to him, like, hey, you want something to drink? And like he's like not really responding. He's just grunting or a little moan here and there. She tries to get him to eat something, and nothing happens. So then we cut to kind of like this new little community that we see.
Yeah.
And the guy is he's reading from the book of Revelations out the Bible. Everyone's in there and he's basically reading, and I forgot which even chapter it was. I
think it was Revelations 21:18.
I believe so. Yeah. So he's reading the chapter and everyone's in there. And, their whole thing is basically God will provide. He talks about, the Son of Man. I heard the Son of Man reference and everything in there. And then next thing you know, this girl just busts out crying. And everyone is like looking like, oh no. What? You know what I'm saying? And the guy's like looking at her like, yo, what the word are you crying for? He was like, what's wrong? And she's just like, hey, can we bury my dad? So her father has passed. She's like, can we bury my dad? And he says, it's snowing out. The ground is too hard. We'll bury your daddy in the spring. I said, well, dang. Well, for two things. First of all, I was like, dang, because they still up in like the whole Wyoming-ish, Colorado area, wherever they at. And I was like, well, god dang. I just was like, well, how far in winter are we, and how long away are we from spring? Because that's cold as a mug, yo. If you we're gonna keep your daddy on ice until we do this. So right there, oh yeah, I just realized I said that too. So right there, that was like a red flag right there. And like he's still talking, and everyone is like, yo, we're hungry, we don't have any food. And then like the main guy, he's a preacher. And I was getting very cultish vibes, and it didn't help that his name was David. The first thing I thought about was David Koresh in the Branch Davidian compound from the early 90s. Hey, people in my age group, that was a big time, like in Corpus Christi, Texas, a big time cult thing. Like everyone ended up dying in it.
I thought it was it El Paso?
Was it
Corpus Christi? It was one of them.
Was it Corpus Christi?
I don't know.
No, I think it was Waco.
Waco. Yeah. Waco. Because Baylor's in Waco.
Yeah, Waco.
Ironically, is a Christian college too. But
people kept saying like Waco, Texas after that. and so he's leaving, and like his right-hand man comes in, and his right-hand man comes to him, and he's like, you can't lose the faith. And he was like, yeah, I don't think they are. And he was like, they're scared. I don't think he was like, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about you. Because he did have a look on his face like, I don't know about this guy. I'm following this dude. I'm following this dude.
Real skeptical.
And he was just like, I'm cool. So, all right, bet. So let's flash back to Ellie. And Ellie is like trying to talk to Joel, and she's, yo, we'll get some food. Stay here. Don't be safe. And like I said, Joel is like out of it or whatever. He goes out. She grabs the gun that he was teaching her how to shoot last, 2 episodes before, the gun he got from his brother. And so when they she goes out, she's looking, she sees a rabbit, she makes a noise, falls, rabbit gets away, but then she sees a bigger game. She sees a deer. And she's like, ooh. And she's like, take her gloves off. She pauses. She does everything Joel told her to do. Like,
Yeah.
take a
She's
deep
definitely
breath.
learned and retained the
Yeah,
information.
squeeze the trigger, don't pull it. Squeeze it, pow, shot. She was like, yes. She was excited. She caught it. And so she's going out to try to get the deer. And next thing you know, she sees the deer stumbling because she didn't really give it a kill shot. It's kind of like basically dying. So what happens is David from that compound, along with his boy, and I don't even remember his name, they find the deer and they're like, so yeah, well, whoever killed it might be nearby, but hey, let's hurry up and get this thing. And so they start trying to get it. And Ellie, yo, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Drop your weapons. Turn around slow. I will shoot you between your eyes. That was her thing. Because she now thinks she's like the American sniper. She's an ace sniper there. She's like, I'll shoot you between the eyes and all this. And she's trying to talk to them. And they were like, hey, man, we from a community. Our people starving. And she, like I said, she retained everything Joel said, made it seem like she wasn't alone. She said, yeah, I got a community to go back to too, and we're starving. And then he was like, look, this is a big enough deer. Can we share? And she said, and he was like, we trade, we got stuff, gloves, hats. She said, y'all got medicine? And they was like, what? Do you got medicine, the kind for infections or anything like that?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, we do. She's like, all right, you go ahead, send your boy, you wait right here. If anything funny, you come back with anybody else, anything like that, I'm going to, he says, yes, I know you're going to shoot me between the eyes. So, then, I'm saying that happens. And then you see like a moment between David and Ellie. He's getting to know her. She's, talking. He's like, what's your name? She doesn't even say her name. And he says, hey, look, it's cold out here. It's like 4 miles round trip. You know what I'm saying? It's 4 miles miles round trip from here to our base. Let's just go into this building right here. I got matches. Let's start a fire, man, so we can stay warm. And she was like, all right, yeah, drag that. He had to drag a deer by us. Listen, people that's ever been hunting or whatever, like I've been hunting before and I've seen a deer. Those things are heavy. Even medium-sized deers are heavy as a mug. And he had to drag it to where they are and they're talking. And he's just saying, like, hey, you don't need to be out here by yourself. And she's like, I'm not out here by myself. And he's just working her real quick. Go ahead.
Hey, question. Uh-huh. When did you realize he was a pedophilia? When did you realize that he was a pedophile?
A little bit after that. A little bit after that. Yeah.
Like so for me, at the first scene when he was talking to the little girl, and I was like, yo, one, this is definitely a cult. Two, I was like, he's trying to groom that little girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt like that because like mom almost looked so traumatized. Like she wasn't even like saying nothing. Yeah. She just was like mortified. I don't know, because her husband died, what was going on, but she definitely was like she didn't speak entire episode.
Yeah. So I was thinking like, this seems kind of weird, but I'm just gonna let it play. But after him and Ellie are talking, and his boy comes back with a gun, pointed, and also too, what's funny was he was like, "Hey man, go get the medicine." Before that, earlier,
yeah, that was like, James.
James, he's like, James, go get the medicine. Go get the. And then James looked at, he says, "That's not a secret code for anything, bro. Go get the medicine." I love that because James was looking like, you really want me to get the medicine, or do you? He was like, that's not code for anything.
Like,
go get
you want to give her the medicine? Give
her the medicine, right?
I'm about to give her a shot.
So James comes back and he has a gun, a little handgun pointed at Ellie. And the dude lets her, and the guy, David lets her know that James is there, like talking to her, and he says, James, put the gun down. And she turns around and she's like, look, settle down. I said, put the gun down, put it down. And he was like, give her the medication. And he tosses her the medication, and then Ellie dips, leaves the deer.
Because they already know, as David and Ellie were talking, and Ellie is, kind of like, soften up just a little bit, just to kind of hear what he has to say. And he says, like, yeah, because, there's a little girl back at, where I'm at too. She just lost her dad.
Yeah.
And it was with a man who was traveling with the little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So he,
I wonder when did that happen? Because
that was the dudes at the at the college.
that was the
That
okay,
was
bet.
them.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That's the
Okay.
dude. That's yeah,
I
yeah,
figured it was them, but I was like, I'm not sure if it really was them or
yeah.
not. So
Because they went out to go look for food and stuff. So at
mm-hmm.
the same time, they stumbled upon the college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was there, but like as you saw, like they were
Mm-hmm.
the actual people who were the aggressors. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But of course, the way if you're in a cult, you're gonna spend everything
Yeah.
on your on to make on your behest and make you look good. But yeah, so
Right.
that whole conversation they was having, and Ellie was like, "Oh, yo, this dude knows.
Yeah.
This dude realized that like Joel is hurt, one, and then
Uh-huh.
two, like he probably has a good idea where we are."
Right.
So my whole concern with that scene was, I was like, "Yo, I wonder if he really got penicillin or medicine or not," and he really did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is like
Mm-hmm.
crazy,
Yeah.
and because he was like, "Shoot." Yo, David was like, this man was crazy. Okay. He said, look, I'm going to give you the medicine, let you go back, just so we
Mm-hmm.
can come back, get you and kill Joel. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like that was his plan. We're
Yeah.
gonna it's about to be nighttime.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and go. We're gonna regroup, take the deal to the people, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Let them feel
Mm-hmm.
good about themselves. And that was crazy. So like so
Yeah.
David was really he was really playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
But Ellie peep game
Yep.
right around the table said, oh, this is what you want. And he even called her right. I said, but you was just sort of cold or something. And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like that. You know what
But
I'm
yeah,
saying?
he kind of like, all religions have kind of like cultish type things. Yeah,
Cold smoke. You
So,
know?
hey, come on back, little girl. And so she runs, she gets away, and James is like, you just gonna let her go? And he was like, yeah, just let her go.
Because
It's
remember
cool.
they was pissed because they trying to get retribution for killing their friend. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah, yeah, right, yeah. He was like, it's okay, it's okay. He says, come on, let's just go and take this back. And so Ellie gets back to Joel, and she has the penicillin or whatever, and she's like, Joel, wake the hell up. Where do I stick you at? And she's just like, F it. And she just straight sticks him into where in between one of the stitchings of the
Affected area.
the affected area she has or whatnot. And then you see probably like besides when Joel is hurt in the beginning, you see the emotion and how much she really do care about Joel. She
Yeah.
snuggled right like a daughter would with their father. She snuggled up beside him. Like Joel was kind of like knowing what was going. He kind of turned his head like, "Oh, she really doing this?" Like that. He probably thought he was hallucinating too. On top of that,
Yes, he could. That's a good point, yo. Because he was,
right?
they sidelined your boy for real this episode, yo.
Yeah.
Joe was like doing nothing until the end.
Joe won't do nothing. And so
Yo,
then we get back to the my fault. Go ahead.
nah, you we on the same page. I had to explain this. This next scene right here is when I knew all the shit was gonna hit the fan.
Yeah.
Like
The entire like this entire scene. I was like,
this
it started off
solidified it
first.
for me, yo.
I said, yo, it solidified me for like, oh, these mofos are cannibals. And then when he backhand old girl, I was like, oh, he's a pedo. So this dude is a cannibalistic pedophile, yo.
It was funny, right? Because like the new widow was back there cooking some food. Said, man, we only got about 2 of these tomato sauce cans left.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Your man comes out, slides out the meat. Man, what's this? He said, oh man, this is venison.
This venison.
And she's like, man, whatever, yo. Cooked it up, handed out to people getting in little rations and portions. They come in with a deer.
Right.
I was like, it wasn't eating deer.
Another thing that bothered me too, and I was like, yo, this is disgusting if you think about it. They already had the broth and the soup cooking, and they just put raw meat into like they had a grill in front of them. Like normal people. Like seriously. Did you notice that? They had a grill in front of them. Like it was like normal people when you're cooking like a soup or stew or something like that. What do, man? You sear the meat on like the stove or something first. They just put straight up bloody raw human flesh into dago. And I was just like, ew, And that's even before, like, I figured it was, I said, now I don't think that's deer yet, but I said, maybe it is. But when he came, I said, yo, they put bloody raw human flesh into that stew. And then did you see the way they was daggone eating?
Oh
Man, they were eating like Joel and Ellie were when they first made it to go see his brother, and they got that food.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, you can get seconds type stuff.
Yo, man, like I was
Notice?
mortified.
But did you notice how James ate? Because James knew, and James kind of was like,
man, I don't really want this.
I don't really want it, but he was biting like little bites of it, like I gotta eat something. And so then he was like, so I know you guys already know, or you've heard about the situation with the girl. It's okay. We're going to get a party out tomorrow. We're going to kill the guy, and we're bringing her back. And I was like, ooh, that's what I was like. Yo, like, ew, you pedophile cannibal, you cannibalistic pedophile, you, or whatever. Ew. And so then the original girl earlier that was crying, she finally talks back. And she says, why aren't you killing her? And because everybody was thinking it, but she said it.
You should kill them both.
You should kill them both. You saw everybody was like, this.
It was like audible gasp.
Yeah, it was like shock. It was like shock applause or whatever. And so he just walks up to her gingerly and gives her one of the meanest backhands I ever. Yo, that wasn't a slap, yo. That was a straight up backhand that he gave her. And then he just helped her back up, set her in a chair, called it a day. So
give me your hand.
Give me your hand.
No. That's when he said, hey, I know I know you're sad you lost your dad, but you always have a father. Yeah. And he sits down at their table. Mm-hmm. Her mother hands him a plate of food, and he says the prayer, and then they eat. I was like, yo,
yeah,
this dude, cultish, right? Yeah,
cannibalistic, cannibalistic pedophile, man. That's exactly
crazy,
what he is,
man. So next day they go out to the smaller town and search for Joel and Ellie, and Ellie gives Joel the last dosage of penicillin, and he's still not really responding. It's just a little bit better. I feel like he's like, man, like I'm up, but like I don't really feel like getting up. So
right? Yeah,
he was definitely in between. So Ellie goes out, takes the horse out and whatnot. And let's go for a little, feed the horse and give it some snow. You know what I'm saying? And then she hears something. So, and the way they got the town set up, it's like ranch homes, you know what I'm saying? And it's backyards, almost like a grid almost. And there's like a fence, it's like a playground. And she goes on the fence playground, looks around and says, oh, yo, there they go right there. So she's on the horse. So no, she goes down and tells Joe, like, look, here's a knife. They coming to get you. I'm going to buy you some time. Get up.
And if anybody comes in here, you kill those mother effers. That's exactly what she.
And Joel was still like, he was like, huh? What?
What? Huh? And then she was like, she says, Joe, don't fall asleep. She told me that. Don't fall. Like, mother, don't fall asleep.
Wake up.
Wake up. And she like puts the knife in his hand and clutches. And she does give him a lot of leeway. She takes the little the kitchen vanity thing or whatever they put,
like a bookshelf or something.
And blocks try to hide the door down to the basement or whatever. And then she grabs the horse and she's like, hey, F it, we out of here. And so these guys are like looking, and you see Dave, he wants Ellie. The other dudes, they're trying to kill both of them. They don't care. And so Ellie does what she does. Her no look shoot. Her no look.
I was like, yo, out of all the things you learn, we still learn that this is not an effective way to shoot a gun.
Right.
Like, come on, Ellie. Come on.
So she yells at him and shoots, and they're like, oh. And then he was like, get her. Keep her alive. He's like, keep her alive. And so James, he was able to, to cut around, get to her, and pow, shoots the horse. She flips off or
Yo, she
whatever.
hit that ground hard too.
Right. And so then you got James and the guys, not David. They walk it up to her, and you hear one of them just say, "Do it."
Do it.
And James takes that gun and he points it to, and my man David said, "Bow," and just looked at him and said, "Y'all want revenge that much? Y'all," he said, "This is what we gonna do. I'm taking her. 2 of y'all coming with me." He says, "Grab the horse for some more meat." He says, "The rest of y'all, yeah, go ahead and sweep the houses and do what you got to do." And so he takes Ellie away. The 2 other guys with him take the horse and they leave. Next thing you know, the other guys are sweeping the house. And Joel by this time is like really starting to come to a little bit. He's really starting to come to, and he realizing what happened. And he hears my man upstairs, one of the guys upstairs. And the guy upstairs was going to leave. And then he looked and saw kind of that bookshelf was kind of weird. He kind of peeked a little crack and saw it was a door handle. He moved it out the way. And Joe heard him doing that. The next thing you know, you just heard Joel say, "Huh." And the guy came downstairs and he was like, "Oh man." And Joel was gone. It was just a bloody mattress that he was laying on. So the guy's sitting there looking like, "Hey, like, what's going on?" He turns his back. It was like a horror movie. Joel comes out of nowhere and stabs him like in the neck area, like right there. And he was bleeding. He was sitting there making sure the guy bled out. And he looked.
What was it? When's the last time like somebody got stabbed in the jugular? Like
jugular?
that word is just like almost gone from our like vernacular. Like
yeah,
he's because
he was jugular jab.
Yeah, he got him. Your man was gargling blood.
He had that face. You want to know what was funny, Rashad? Because I was like, the face that he had died. He reminded me of his face looked like he reminded me of
what?
He reminded me of Kane from Poltergeist 2. Curly, the face he had to find. He looked like Kane from Poltergeist 2. Carol, the dude with the black hat that was after.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very honest. I did not watch those movies.
Yeah, horrified by the way. My cousins made me watch them.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna put them because I was.
Nope. I was younger and they made me watch it. I'm so like, stop. But yeah, anyway. So Joel systematically he took out that guy, killed him, and then he caught the other dude and left him there. The guy's like, ugh, and the other guy's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And Joe, goes and stabs him, and he keeps them alive. And then we see Joel at his best. He got these guys duct tape in the basement, and he got the one dude like, "What are you gonna do to him?" And he's just like, "Where's the girl?" And the dude was like, "What girl?" He just started beating the hell out of the dude. He was like, he doesn't know. And then he was like, "Where's the girl?" And he says, "What girl?" And he takes the knife and stabs him right around the edge of his kneecap. And he's cut. And he was like, "If you don't want me to cut your kneecap, do you know how daggone painful that is, bro?"
Yeah, because it's like all bones and tendons. It ain't no meat.
Yes. Yeah, that's all bones, tendons, and ligaments right there. And then he just started twisting on it. And he was like, "She's alive." He's like, "She's alive." And he's like, "She's alive. Where's she at?" He was like, "She's at this location here." And then he was like, look, Joe pulled the map out. "It's not a town, it's a resort." Joe was like, "A resort?" Like, really? And he put the knife in his mouth and said, "Point to it here. And if you're lying to me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your boy." And then, so he showed him. He pointed the direction of where they were and how far, saying the resort was. And then he was like, "Thank you." And it shanked him and just straight killed him. And the other dude was like, "He told you the truth, brother. Why did you do that?" And he was like, "Don't worry." And he picks up
No. The funny part, he was like, "Nah, I believed him.
I believe that." He was like, "He told you the truth, bro." He was like, "I believed him," and proceeded to beat this dude head in with a lead pipe, man, with a straight lead pipe.
Your man went straight like Liam Neeson on them boys.
Yeah. He was straight taken. He went taken on them daggone dudes.
Taking one.
So right, great. That was great. And then, by the way, and so then we cut back to Ellie is finally starting to come to from falling off the horse.
Yeah.
At their little, community or whatnot. She's locked up. And she's like, "Why am I locked up?" She's like, "Yo, why am I locked up here?" Blah, blah, blah. He was like, "Listen here, Ellie. I think you're I think you're great. You know, you're a strong leader. You're a strong leader. We can do this. We can do that. And he's like, I was like, yo, this pedophile dude is really, really laying it in thick on Ellie. And Ellie is sitting here looking like, what the, you know, saying like, what the hell? But before that, Ellie's trying to break out. And she's like trying to get loose and she's trying like to wriggle on the metal. And then you don't see what she see. You saw her face just go like, yo, like, I beg your pardon. Wait, is that? And the guy comes in with some food, a plate full of like, look like stewed beef and stuff. And she looked at him and he was like, what? And he turned and looked and saw the ear on the ground. It was a severed ear, human ear. And he was like, ah. Yeah. Look here. This is actually venison right here. So cool. And he's like trying to sweet talk her and tell her. And Ellie is playing the game so well. And he puts his hand on the little gate all lovingly. And Ellie like just goes up to his hand lovingly and put his hands there. And then he was like, remember, she was like, why am I locked up? He says, to be honest, I'm kind of scared of you. He says, I'm afraid of you. He said, I'm afraid of you.
Just a little afraid of you.
Just a little afraid of you.
He said, yo, it was cool, right? He said, yeah, because like I see that basically like that darkness in your heart.
Yeah.
I got that same darkness too.
Yeah, he says, I got that. He says, I got that same darkness too. I was like,
what's it last time? I got that dog in him.
Got that dog in him. Got that. He saw Ellie had that dog in her. And then he was like, all right. And so she's like acting like, and he's like really like, oh my gosh, she's feeling this. She's feeling it. Thinking that she about to go on with it. And she grabs his hand and bow, breaks his finger. Ah! And he had asked her earlier, what's your name? But she didn't say. So she finally says, Ellie. Ellie, she says, tell him Ellie broke your fucking finger. Yo, Ellie is a psychopath, yo.
I was
yeah. Tell him Ellie broke her finger. He had bashed her head in on the thing just to get loose because she was trying to get them keys. Yeah. And then he was like, you know what? You had your chance. I got you. And so then you see Joel kind of like trekking through the snow. And he like, man, Joel is holding on to God's unchanging hand here, man. Like he's trekking through the snow trying to get to Ellie. And then he comes to like a door. He comes to the resort and he sees like a door, a cabin, and it's locked. And he goes in and he's looking around and he sees the dead horse. Mm-hmm. And then he sees like something wrapped up on the table. And he puts the flashlight up. And it's dead people with their heads cut off, just hanging like they were curing like meat inside there.
Basically, like that was like
their that was their freezer, their cooler.
Yeah, and like all the hanging upside down so the blood can drain out.
Yeah, all the blood can drain out.
It was crazy, man. I was like, yo.
Joe saw that and was like, yo, let me find this girl. Let me find this girl. Like, let me find this girl.
ASAP. Because I know they're gonna kill her. Because Ellie don't care.
Ellie don't care. And so, like, even early before that, like before the guy came talk to Ellie, when she saw the ear cut off, she was like, are you gonna cut me up into pieces? He was like, we don't have to. Whatever. But after her breaking his finger, he was pissed. He was like, F this.
He said, remember what you said? Little pieces.
He said, remember what I said, little pieces? He comes and they drag her out the daggone cell and they put her on the table and she's like, no, please stop. I'm sorry, Ellie. He's like, nope, you had your chance. And then Ellie just grabs a cleaver.
No. Before that, Ellie says, look, I'm infected.
Right. I'm sorry.
And was like, boom. And his boy was like, David. And he was like, nah, it can't be.
And then she said, look at my arm. And then they lift her sleeve up and they see the little mark there. And then she's like, yeah, I'm infected. She says, guess what? You're infected now.
and he was like, yo, and like David, as crazy, he's really smart. He was like, hold on, yo.
Yeah.
He said, but you would have been turned by now.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? He said, so
yeah.
So he said, he says I think probably the most poignant statement or the question of the whole thing. He said, are you really that special? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is really is yes.
Yes, she
Ellie
is.
is that special. She
Yes.
is the point of this whole thing. Like
Yeah.
they are going from city to city,
She
murdering dozens of people because she is that special.
she's the MacGuffin.
Literally, the
She's
walking,
the
talking,
MacGuffin.
cussing, cutting
Yeah.
MacGuffin. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And so they were like, what? And that little moment of like pause to be like, what the hell is going on here was enough for Ellie to take that daggone quick. Yeah. Another jugular shot that we saw. And the thing is, the guy hit the ball and slid down and had a look on his face like, yo, this girl really killed me. And, Ellie got away, but my man Dave was trying to shoot at her. And they go into like this diner area. And I'm like, where are the rest of the people at? Did they not hear this commotion going on? But hey, whatever. And so, Ellie grabs it was a log. She grabs like a piece of wood with embers on it, and she chucks it at him, and he misses, but it catches fire. And the window. And the fire starts to engulf. And he's like, there's no escape, Ellie. Just come on out. It was just so creepy and weird. And then he finally got her down. And he's getting ready to rape her. And then she tries to fight, and he was like, yeah, that's the way I like it. I like it when you resist me or they try to fight me.
Yo. And again, I don't forget this part. When Ellie and him were talking, and this is what made it even more sinister. When she was in the cage. And he was like, yeah, before I became a preacher, I was a teacher. I taught math for years. But that doctor's always there. I was like, he's always been a pedophile.
Yeah, he was a pedophile to his students and stuff like that. And so the whole time you're watching this and you're saying to yourself, man, come on, Joel, bust up in there and save Ellie. Just bust up in there and save Ellie. Ellie's fighting for her life, trying to make sure the dude's trying to, he's trying to undo his pants. Ellie was able to grab hold of another knife.
Yeah, the knife that he drops.
Yeah, the knife he dropped, and another jugular shot, and she just went primal rage, got full mount, and just started stabbing. She completely primal rage zoned out and just hacked away, and it was over. And then she comes stumbling out the cabin, and your boy Joe comes up behind her, and she's like, "Get the hell off of me!" And he's like, Ellie, look. And then she looks at him and realizes her. They brace each other, and then he says probably the four most important words. He was like, "What? What was it?
He said, it's me, baby girl.
It's me, baby girl.
Yeah.
It's me, baby girl." And he hugged her, gave her the jacket, and you didn't have to see nothing else. It was just a slow fade to black. Excellent episode, man. I mean, just an excellent. And then when they talked about it on the post show, the guy said he purposely had it where he didn't have Joel save her because he wanted the people to know that Ellie can't take care of herself.
And I thought it was a good touch too. You know what I'm saying? Give her some more agency. Yeah, man.
Great episode, man. Great episode.
They are just. They are murdering this. I mean, there's no way this can be showed a year already. It ain't even. It's barely March.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, but they really did an amazing job at just putting this together and adapting it from the video game, adding some more lore to it, taking away some of the fluff and adding some substance where it needs to be, and keeping all the major story beats that people are want or really long for and keep it in it too, man.
And it feels like it's a video game too. It feels like it's a
very much so.
Game.
Yeah.
It feels like it
because even that last scene when they was in the room and how she was hiding and stuff and all that, very, very video game esque. Yeah, great, amazing show. Yeah. Ain't no comments this week. I don't see none. I have some comments. I have some comments from the Mandalorian though. Yeah, come. What is it? You got any comments?
No, I don't have any comments. I have no one to really say anything about it. I just want to say for the show, there's some people who I keep hearing the show is good, man, but I just think those things look so disgusting or whatever. You're letting, honestly, Rashad, in my line, maybe 5-7 minutes throughout the whole season of seeing the clickers, the infected. Out
'Cause-
8 episodes, you let 7 minutes of them really having airtime really stopping you from watching, in my opinion, one of the best shows on TV right now.
Not even that, but like, I'm just gonna clip this out. This show is not about the infected.
Nope.
The show is about humanity and its depravity, and will humanity win? That's what the show is really about. It's not about the infected or the clickers or the bloaters or the runners, whatever they're like. It's not about them. It's really about the people. Like you said, like, they haven't even been a major part of the show.
And they're such a secondary part.
It is, man, because it's really about the people. This is a true show about, again, humanity and its depravity, and will humanity win? But yeah, that's all we got for this one, man. We'll be back Wednesday. Mandalorian chapter 18. Of course, that's season 3, episode 2. Yeah, man. It's just a
good show, man.
Good TV, man.
Good TV. We love it.
Yeah. So next time.
Peace out, people.